It's on.
Yes.
You ask a question, and then you tell me who I am, and then I tell you who you are, and then they keep watching.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to soar with eagles, people. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
If you're running a play party and you have too many single guys show up, what do you do? This is Reid from ReidAboutSex.com.
Cathy Bartoli from the IntimacyDojo.com, and we're talking about this from the perspective of organizers or facilitators of play party events. So technically, this could be construed as business advice for sex educators or people who run play parties, or you're just a non-identified sex. You're not a sex educator, but you want to run little gatherings where adults get together and maybe have sex. So you decide which shirt I need to be wearing today while we teach, because I think this video is appropriate for everyone.
Yes. So you can run play parties and charge money for people to be in the space. Mm-hmm. It's very important. I've learned not to charge for the play party, but charge for the space and the food or whatever, mm-hmm. because you're not guaranteeing that anyone will have any connections. You're not guaranteeing sex. You're not selling sex, but you are you're organizing.
You're trying to pay for the space.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can just decide to have some friends over to play, mm-hmm. and that's really fun. But you can't always control. Some people do try to gender balance. Mm-hmm. I find that really challenging to do because half the time people cancel last minute, or someone wants to bring a friend, and so you're juggling a lot. I tend not to do that, but I will sometimes cut off people. There's only so many tickets for different genders, just to try to bring it somewhat close.
Because most people feel more comfortable when there's even distribution of male identified, female identified, or genders, or however you want to identify with, men and women, or this or that.
Yeah, but I had a play party a couple weeks ago, and there were more men than women, mm-hmm. And there was some tension because I could feel the disappointment for the guys that came in, and it actually worked out well. Everybody seemed to have a really good time. Some of the women were very generous and enjoyed the fact that there were lots of friendly candidates.
So some people that works out great.
Yes. But when they were coming in, I could feel the disappointment of people. They're kind of looking around going, oh, wow.
How did you address that?
We went through the opening circle with Monique Darling, and I ran the opening circle. Mm-hmm. And I talked about the fact that it's just really cool to be at a play party, and that if you kind of connect and have a good time, that leaves you with that, using that time in a really good way. Mm-hmm. And it will probably fill you up more than if you're sitting there in the corner going, I'm not going to talk to anyone I can't sleep with.
All by myself.
Yeah. And one of the participants, he was amazing. I think it was his first play party, but he said that he had the belief that people would ignore him and cut him off, mm-hmm. and that he was just going to be with that feeling. And he had such a good time, and he was really fun to be around him. Because he was just like, okay, I'm announcing this now. I'm probably not going to play with anyone, but I just want to be with my feelings of not having connection.
Wow.
And he was like, for a while, he was just sitting there, but he would talk to people if they talked to him. Mm-hmm. And then, he was dancing just by himself, being with his body. And it was really fun, really very present. And then some other people were kind of feeling lonely. He invited them to dance too. And it was just a really beautiful connection.
Wow.
And you could tell, he was people really connected deeply with him because he was just being with his emotions through the whole night.
Now, for those of you who think that might be hokey, I can already feel you thinking this. Single guy, already said that he's dealing with feelings of being alone, dancing in the corner. Could be weird, but because he shared the vulnerability piece, and for those of you who've never been to a play party, the interesting things happen when we confront or name the social weirdness that might be in the room. Mm-hmm. And if you think about play parties as being like a 7th grade school dance mm-hmm. on steroids, all our 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grader, I'm not going to fit in, nobody's going to like me. Even for the popular kids, oh my God, what if this is not the night where I'm popular? It's the 7th grade school dance on steroids, and naming what was going on for him, and then being with it, for at least for us nerds, feels like, wow, like you're really courageous. You're really, being powerful, even if you're not feeling powerful, even if you're feeling wobbly. And there's a version of that is damn sexy,
yes,
and inspiring.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, like you're reporting, like you're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because you're just grabbing the bull by the horns and being with it. Which is actually like really good advice just for life.
Yeah.
And not just play parties.
Yeah, no, and the fact that he was just being with it, he announced it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have him in any play party I had. Like, I mean, he'd be delighted to have him there.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he actually, not only did he take care of his own energy, but he was inviting some other people who were kind of feeling left out to just, they said no, it was fine, but it was really fun. I do think it's one thing I require for my play parties,
Mm-hmm.
for when they're not just friends, is I like to require either they've gone to a cuddle party or they've been to other play parties that people I know. Because then I know they have some idea of consent,
Mm-hmm.
and they've also had their tanks filled up a little bit. If they know how at least to do that.
So what's your advice for first timers who've never been to any of those? Like they then get to a cuddle party?
If they can't get to a cuddle, if there isn't one, if there is one, I recommend cuddle party before
Mm-hmm.
play party any day of the week. But in some areas of the country and the world, there's not cuddle parties.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's kind of funny. I think of. Do you ever read Gone with the Wind? Scarlett her nanny would have her maid would have her eat something before she went to the dinner because she wouldn't be starving and she would be polite. And I'm not advocating that we should go back to the 1800s, but or any of that. But
I'm sure they had play parties back then.
Probably they did. But just like, eating something before you go, like whether it's masturbating or getting a massage or getting some of your needs met so that you're going not like, I must have the thing,
Mm-hmm.
to like, oh, I get to be at this cool place and experience all my feelings, and like just learn about myself and meet some cool people. I really encourage people, if you're having a play party, to have a non-sexual space.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my backyard was, it's PG-13 out there. My neighbors did not consent to a play party. But it was just nice. People would go out there and sit and talk about work or whatever.
Yeah.
And they could
Takes
take a
the pressure
break
off.
from the energy. They could, And it was just a nice place for people to connect.
Got it. So we got more questions about play parties. Leave your questions in the comments below and we'll try to answer them. But we're going to end this video and we're going to come right back because I've got a question for Cathy.
Ooh.
About shy people at play parties.
Oh, nice. Cool. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to my social media, it's right there. And please subscribe to this channel there. If you'd like to see more goofy Reid and Cathy, there's more videos there.
See them. Why are they there?